Is the housing market really overpriced in 2021? Is there ever a wrong time to buy a house? Well, if you perform a cursory analysis of a housing market, the answer might be hard to accept. In any case, with how expensive houses are, you might want to make the most informed decision before forking up thousands of dollars for a property. In this video, we will analyze if the housing market is overpriced in 2021. So first off, why exactly is the housing market so volatile and unpredictable? There are several answers to that question. Learning these reasons will allow us to better understand the eccentricities of the 2021 housing market. And so, let's discuss them one by one. First off, the value of the housing market is disproportionately affected by supply and demand. This means that regardless of the actual material valuations of each property, what people are willing to pay for it depends on how much the property in question is wanted. People have this perception that real estate always appreciates in value as time goes on. And although that is true when an analysis is made over a long period, analysis over a shorter period shows that the truth is more complex than that. The thing is, over a period of weeks or months, real estate can both appreciate in value and depreciate as well. Even for particular properties that always appreciate, the rate of appreciation may not always be the same. It all depends on supply and demand. Are people interested in buying houses? Are they actually buying them? Almost every other factor is secondary. Another huge factor that affects the housing market is the location of properties. This should be a pretty simple one to figure out. Houses of the same size can cost wildly different when based in different locations. Even if the supply and demand in both locations are relatively even, the houses still won't cost the same. Some locations are simply more coveted and prestigious than others. As such, everything within that location is quite pricey. The cost of living is high, as well as the standard of living. Those places are centers of business, opportunity, and entertainment. Naturally, it would cost a lot of money to rent or buy a house within such a location. Many cities along the coast fall within this category. Although with the growing threat of rising sea levels, it will be interesting to see if they can maintain the same standing. Government policies are also an important factor that can affect the housing market. And this makes sense because all markets are regulated by the government so as to ensure free and fair trade without the formation of monopolies or the inception of unfair trading practices. The government has a variety of ways to control the housing market. However, its most popular instruments include tax credits, deductions, and subsidies. After all, housing is one of the most important things, and they must remain within touching distance of all working-class people. And similarly, by virtue of the large, extravagant houses that some people live in, they may need to pay more taxes. One of the big examples of this sort of governmental control was shortly after the 2008 financial crisis. In order to jumpstart the economy, the U.S. government awarded tax credits to first-time home purchasers. Other factors that drive the real estate market include demographics, the state of the economy, and interest rates. All of these are crucial to our understanding of the current state of the housing market. And so, bringing it back to our original thesis, is the housing market really overpriced in 2021? Well, judging from all available metrics, it might just be. But the answer really isn't as simple as a yes or no. There's so much nuance that must be taken into consideration to obtain a better understanding of where things stand. See, the best people to answer a question of that magnitude aren't just realtors and real estate agents. Official government agencies have a duty to make this knowledge available to the public. And from all their data collection, houses are of a higher value right now than they should be. However, they still aren't priced right. The information comes from official figures released by the U.S. Census Bureau and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Even though 2020 was the most overpriced that houses had been in months, a downtrend in the cost of houses began in 2021. As of June 2021, the median sales price for a house stands at $361,800. The U.S. National Association of Realtors also released their own data, and from what we can see, the last 18 months have come with a significant uptrend in the number of home sales. prices of houses have also risen steadily over the same time period. And so, what this means is that the prices of these properties have been falling steadily over the past 18 months after hitting a peak during 2020. However, they aren't quite as low as they should reasonably be. The reason for this is none other than the pandemic. Those months of lockdown had a devastating effect on the economy as a whole, and this rippled across all markets, including the housing market. During the pandemic, people actually bought more houses than usual. Supply and demand surged, driving the price of everything up. Perhaps people were worried that there was an impending market crash, and that the best time to cash out on their housing investments would be now. But we all know what happens to the market when many people are thinking the same thing. In any case, buying a house now is better than it was a few months ago. However, there's no guarantee that these prices won't continue to fall. If there's ever a right time to buy a house, it may be now. The market seems to be on the verge of another uptick, and prices may soon creep up. The housing market isn't overpriced right now. Neither is it underpriced. But compared to the recent norm, this may be the best bet for home searchers. Coming to the end of this video, we hope you've learned much about the 2021 housing market. Although things may seem uncertain for buyers, things can always turn around. In any case, to learn more, check out other videos on this channel. Our content is always interesting and engaging, and you wouldn't want to miss out. Until next time, have a good day. Catch you later.